What if I told you that most people aren't stuck because of bad luck? They're stuck because their past trauma is wearing their personality like a mask. That constant feeling of being on edge, the need to please everyone, the fear of taking up space. We tell ourselves, well, that's just who I am. But what if it's not? What if these aren't your personality traits, but survival patterns you learn to deal with old pain? You're not broken, you're just living in a constant state of fight or flight. This isn't about adding more to your to-do list. This is a guide to subtraction. We're going to expose 12 quiet burdens you've been carrying, and I'll show you how to put them down one by one. Pay close attention to number 7, it's the one most of us are doing without even realizing it. Trauma isn't always some big dramatic event. More often, it's the quiet collection of habits we build to avoid feeling pain. It's the constant busyness, the relentless people-pleasing, and the emotional numbness we mistake for being strong. So healing isn't about adding more routines or goals. It's about quietly and deliberately removing whatever is standing in the way of your peace. Consider this list your permission slip to finally let go. First up, let's quietly eliminate the need to over-explain yourself. This habit usually comes from a deep-seated need to justify your existence to people who were never going to approve of you anyway. Your choices, your feelings, and your boundaries are valid. No defense required, let them be. Second, it's time to get rid of hyper-independence. This isn't strength, it's a trauma response. It's that feeling that you can't rely on anyone because asking for help in the past led to disappointment or neglect. Real strength isn't pretending you don't need anyone. It's learning how to trust again. The third thing to let go of is toxic productivity. This is that frantic need to work, achieve, and do more, just to distract yourself from the deafening silence. Remember, you are a human being, not a human doing. Your worth is not measured by your output. Fourth on the list is people-pleasing. Let's be clear, this is not kindness. It's self-erasure disguised as peacekeeping. You're abandoning your own needs to manage the feelings of others, a pattern you likely learned when your own emotions were treated like an inconvenience. Number 5 is emotional numbness. For years, you might have mistaken apathy for strength, believing that if you feel nothing, you're safe. But peace isn't the absence of feeling, it's the ability to feel everything without letting it control you. The sixth burden to release is constant comparison. You use other people's lives as a yardstick to measure how far behind you are, which is really just a form of self-harm. Your journey has its own timing, your path is yours alone. Honor it. Now for number 7, the emotional core of this whole list, you must eliminate the act of clinging to your old identity. So many of us want to change, but we're terrified of letting go of the self that survived all the chaos. The one who apologizes too much, who hides their potential, who is always waiting for the other shoe to drop. You have to understand this. The version of you that was built in chaos cannot lead you to a life of peace. Number 8 is the overconsumption of information. You're endlessly learning, researching, and watching, but you never actually apply it. And this just keeps you trapped in the noise of your own mind, making you mistake the collection of knowledge for actual progress. True change comes from doing, not just knowing. Ninth, stop neglecting your body. Trauma lives in the body. We often try to deal with our pain mentally while punishing our physical selves with poor sleep, bad food, and no movement. Your body isn't your enemy, it's the home where your healing happens. The 10th thing is the fear of confrontation. You let resentment build up like a silent poison rather than just setting a clear boundary. You mistake avoiding conflict for creating harmony. A boundary is not an attack, it's an act of self-respect. At number 11, we have the habit of suppressing your emotions. It's that automatic "I'm fine" you say when you're silently falling apart. Your feelings are not a burden, they are messengers, and they are asking to be heard. And finally, number 12, eliminate living on autopilot. You call your chaos a routine and your survival a life. You've become so accustomed to the storm that you've forgotten that peace was always an option. Normal is peace, not numbness. Normal is discipline, not just survival mode. Normal is feeling safe in your own body. Trauma may have taught you who you had to be to survive, but your healing is what will decide who you become. You don't need to become someone new. You just need to stop being everything your pain taught you to be. If this resonated with you, consider subscribing for more ways to find your peace. And let me know in the comments, which of these 12 things will you quietly eliminate first?